Hello friends, it's Nancy from Astrology and Angel Mediums today with another deck review. Now, I'm glad that you're joining me for these. I hope that you're enjoying these. I know that these videos don't get as many views as like my reading videos, and that's perfectly fine. As someone that has been utilizing decks for the last like 25 years, I think that there's a lot of fun to be had by understanding what tools other people out there use, what they love, what they don't love, what works, what doesn't work. And so I wanted to just continuously kind of put out this sort of content, even though I know it may not be everyone's favorite thing. So today I'm actually going to be talking about one of my all-time favorite oracle decks. And as you can see, I have two versions of it. I have the original version and this is Sacred Symbols by Marcella Kroll. And so this is one of her original first edition print. And then this is actually, I think this is her third or fourth edition, third edition. So I do have a fourth edition print that was the same, and I ended up just kind of giving it away because I already have one. And so I was like, let me pass it on to someone who could also enjoy this deck. So Marcella Kroll is the author and also the artist. So I'm going to show you the difference between these two decks and why I still have basically two copies of the same deck. So we have just a traditional kind of like clamshell box, I guess. But in her original, and you can see it's very well loved and used, her artwork on these are full color. There's no numbers on these to kind of tell you where in the book the card meaning will be, but I just really love the artistic kind of influence that she utilized. She uses a lot of different symbols, a lot of different things. This is all of her artwork. If you've ever seen her, I think it's called the Priestess book. It's filled with a lot of these kind of similar symbols and things like that. She's a fantastic artist and medium and reader, and I just really enjoy her work. And she actually also created the Nature Nurture Oracle, which if you've seen some of my other like reading videos, you'll see that I do use that deck a lot in there too. And I usually use this version of the Sacred Symbols deck. But I'm going to show you her original. And I just really love all of this artwork. I think it's great. I really don't use this version of the deck anymore. I usually use this for like my own personal readings. And then I use the third edition for clients and for those that kind of, you know, want or like for reading videos that I do here. So the reason why I enjoy this deck so much is I do really like the themes. I like that there's different spiritual elements and aspects. There's even things such as like you can even kind of lean into the astrological influence of things. And so there is a little bit of everything here, and as well as like so many different spiritual elements from various pantheons and such. So there's like Egyptian, there is runes like Norse, you know, things like that. There's symbolism. There's like different indigenous kind of elements as well. So I really do like that there's a little bit of everything kind of tied into this deck. So here we have some runes. And then there's like astrological influences and things like that. And then there's also other things that you can really kind of like lean into. And I love this boundaries card. But there's so many different symbols, like, I mean, an anchor for being grounded, you know, lightning for courage. So it's just very interesting. All of the different elements that are kind of here that you can see within the deck. So the difference between this current deck and then also what, you know, well, the fourth edition is very similar to the third edition. I didn't really see too many differences between the cards. I think that she just does different reprints. And so we have, you know, again, it's not as colorful. This is a little bit more of the kind of style that I think more people are leaning towards, more simplistic, symbolic versus the colorful kind of artful kind of decks. So we can see a lot of the symbols are still the same, but now she's got numbers. And we also have all of, I don't know why all of these are upside down. We're going to do it this way. So we have a lot of the same kind of symbolism and things like that here. So, but I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just partial to her original deck, just because of the colors and the artwork that was present. So, but there's a lot of similarities. And then this one, again, because it is mass produced, it is a slightly different cardstock. I don't know. This feels more like almost like a linen, but not, it's like tight. And so we have, I think that this was a 44 card deck, and so this is 50. So there are a few cards that are different, and they're not gilded or anything like that. Neither are the newer editions of the deck, but they both have the Eye of Horus on the back. This one's just more artistic, and then this one is just the plain, but similar kind of energy, and some fun little additions kind of added to, I like keep flipping it over and then the cards all flip. So I think that it's a very fun deck to add into your practice if this is something that like you are maybe someone that wants to do a more intuitive kind of reading. I think that this is a fun deck to add into your practice, just because I feel like with the symbolism that's here, it's enough to be like, okay, I understand some of this, but how can I make this, I guess, like the significance of this energy a little bit more me? And so I do think that that's fun. And instead of it being Saturn, now it's Karmic Path. So there are some similar themes and things. So here we have nature spirits instead of dryad. So some things have changed, but others are still very similar. So I don't remember where I started on this one. So hopefully I'm not just going back and forth. So, and then we have spiritual cleansing. So there is, I think it was on healer. And so there is a lot of that kind of similar sort of energy going through. Now with the guidebooks, the original, I mean, again, it's very simple, quick. It's great for those that don't really want anything that's too wordy or struggle with. So like I love Alana Fairchild's artwork and decks, but sometimes the meanings in the book or the guidebooks are just so long that they're a little like, I don't really know what to like glean from this, or I don't really know how to take this. So I think that this is good for those of us that maybe want a little bit more of an intuitive connection. So there's Marcella, and so she's a really amazing creatrix, and I just really enjoy the things that she's put together. Now, the reason why I have, after all of these years, again, this deck came out in like 2013, why I still use this deck is because I feel the messages are something that you can utilize over and over again. I don't feel like I've outgrown it. I don't feel like it has become outdated. I don't feel like the artwork is something that looks old. I mean, I'm sure that you guys have seen older decks, and sometimes, you know, the artwork just looks a little outdated. The messages are a little like clunky. They're not kind of updated for today's kind of energies or what we do. So I feel like this deck, with all of the symbolism and the different themes that it has kind of running throughout, is a great kind of do-it-all deck if you're looking for something that maybe that you'll still want to use like 10 years from now. Because again, I've been using my copy of this deck for the last, 11, 12 years. So I think that these are fantastic versions of the deck. I love them both for different reasons. I mean, I love the original artwork and just kind of the maybe sentimental kind of connection that I have to this deck. But I love using this for clients and for guests that, kind of come and sit across the table for me. I think that the artwork is simple enough to where it's not anything that will offend anybody. And it's also nice because the themes are something that any of us can connect to very easily. And it also is fantastic for those of us that want to do more intuitive reading, or maybe have struggled in the past with finding a oracle deck that we feel is easy enough for us to kind of utilize and that anyone can pick up and start using. So let me know if you've ever heard of this deck. This is the Sacred Symbols Oracle deck from Marcella Kroll. Let me know what some of your favorite Oracle decks are, and if you enjoy these deck reviews that I have. As always, please take care, stay safe, and make good choices. Thank you. Bye.